I'm gonna always choose to be with you. Cause girl, don't you know?
Girl, don't you know you're so beautiful? I wanna give all my love to you, girl. Not just tonight, but the rest of your life. I wanna be always here by your side.
What's up YouTube, it's your girl Weedy and I'm back with another video. As you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be doing a video about just some things you shouldn't say to a person that's trying to conceive, a person that just went through a miscarriage or dealing with infertility. So let's go ahead and get into the video. One thing that you should never say to somebody that's trying to conceive is, why don't you just go ahead and adopt? I'm pretty sure that thought has already crossed their mind, and at this point, you know, they're just trying to make sure that they do everything that they can in order to have their own baby and take all the medicine and the shots before they decide to go that route of adoption, because people want to be able to have their own child just like everyone else in the world that's able to conceive. They want that shot at being able to have their own child. They want to do everything that they can until it's nothing else they can do. Then they might consider that path of adoption. So just, you know, just be respectful. And that's just one of the things you shouldn't say to somebody that's trying to be able to conceive. And one thing that you should never say to somebody that just went through a miscarriage is, you know, you did it once, you know, you'll be able to do it again. Of course, they might feel that way, you know, in the back of their mind, but they're still going through a loss. You have to understand that they had time to, you know, they built a connection with this baby no matter how far along they were. Even if they were 4 weeks or 6, it doesn't matter. They built that connection with that baby. As soon as they found out that they were pregnant, that connection was made. And, you know, they started thinking, you know, oh, if it's a girl, I can do this. If it's a boy. They just, you know, thought about the future that they could have with that child. So don't ask them, you know, when, you know, since you had one, you'll be able to have another one. Like sometimes yes, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes that's the only baby that they were able to have, or you don't know how long it took for them to be able to have that baby. So just be, you know, kind of aware when you say things like that to people who went through the miscarriage process. Another thing that you shouldn't say to people that's trying to conceive is that you're better off with kids. You don't want that stress on you. First of all, like, you have to put you know, why would you say there's somebody that's trying to conceive, and could you imagine your life without your kids? Like, you have to think, like, even though, you know, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of stress, but, you know, that's something that you wouldn't trade for the world. So why would you want to take that dream away from somebody else? That's the best way that I can explain it. But yeah, don't tell them, you know, that they're better off with kids, because that's what they want. Because sometimes that's the only thing that somebody wants. Like, some people dream for houses and cars, but some women just dream to be able to, you know, put themselves in your shoes, just to be a mom. Some women dream just to be a mom. And so that means that's something that can hurt them in the end. So don't say nothing like that. You know, don't be insensitive. Even though you might not know that it's insensitive at the time, and that you're just, you know, just suggesting something, that's very insensitive to somebody that only wants to do what you can do, and you're being very selfish with what you're able to do. Another thing that you shouldn't say to somebody that's trying to conceive is that when you shouldn't ask them when are they going to have kids. I get that all the time, but it doesn't really bother me as much as it bothers others, but that's one of the things that bother a lot of women. So don't ask them when they're going to have kids, because 9 times out of 10, if you only knew how hard that they were trying, all the medicine that they've been trying to take, all the shots, and all the money that's spent on trying to have a child, and you just come in and say, you know, when are you going to have kids? Even though that might not be seem like a big deal to you, to them it's a very big deal, because, you know, behind the scenes you just don't really understand how hard they've been trying to have children. So that's just another thing not to say to people that's trying to conceive or even had a miscarriage. Like, you know, when are you going to try again for a baby? Like, you just don't know that, you know, all this time right after that they've been trying, and you saying that, it's just another reminder that they haven't had any yet. They haven't had any hope, any luck with that yet. So, you know, that's just another thing not to say to somebody that just had a miscarriage or is trying to conceive. Another thing not to say to people that's trying to conceive is, it'll happen when you stop trying. That gets on my nerves too. Like, what do you mean it'll happen when you stop trying? Like, maybe for you it did, but for me that hasn't worked. So what worked for you may not work for me, and what works for me may not work for you. So that's just another insensitive thing that people say, even though they might not know that, you know, and even though they might not even mean no harm by it. But that's just another thing you shouldn't say, you know. If you stop stressing, or, you know, if you stop thinking about it, it'll happen. But because 9 times out of 10 people that's infertile, it doesn't work like that. And it takes a lot, and most of the time it does take medication and shots, like I said before, for them to be able to conceive. So just, you know, think about that, and don't say that to somebody that you know that's been trying to conceive. It's a different thing if you don't know and you just, you know, having a casual conversation. But just try not to say those things to people that you know that's been trying and they haven't had any luck so far. Okay, y'all, that's at least 5 things you shouldn't say to somebody that just had a miscarriage or that's trying to conceive. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share my video, comment down below what other videos you want to see. I will be doing challenges, maybe some pranks on people. Also, keeping you updated on my infertility journey. Just go on this ride with me. Follow all my social links in the description down below. And I also will be doing story time still. I believe my next video will be a story time, so be on the lookout for that. Again, my name is Whitney. Thank you for watching this video.
Loved you when I didn't love myself. Yeah, yeah. Said you loved me, but you only loved yourself. You rocked me so hard, you played out.